possibly $4,200 total bill, but we do not know what the damage is on the truck yet.
As far as we know, there's no damage on the truck, but we will get it checked.
It needs to be checked. Yeah.
Is that truck gonna be allowed on calls?
Not
Or-
that I'm aware of.
No, I mean, is it gonna be allowed on calls or before it goes any to
It's gonna
inspection?
get checked.
First, then it'll be released?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, 'cause I hate to find out there's an issue with it in the middle of a fire call.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on from that. Leo, you want to discuss your Lions Club?
This Tuesday, 5 o'clock, I got invited by Ashley and the Lions Club members to attend their meeting at the Fish Lake Library. To be honest, my first time ever in that club. Really good club, really good for the community. They discussed about helping veterans, discussed about the Paddle Fest, the festival stuff, their Easter egg hunt coming up. They also, Ashley and Township, were discussing a trail that they're trying to get pushed through on North Longshore, where it dead ends, all the way 200 south, which used to be an old trail back in the day. The county still has that road that goes, supposedly the road that went all the way from North Longshore to 200 south, so they have it right away. It's been surveyed by Tony Hendricks. So they took me after their meeting out there, explained what they were doing. So I was pretty impressed with their thoughts and ideas of it and why they wanted to do it. I think it'd be a good little project for the community to be with. I mean, her and Tom have been in big time. So if you've got any questions, talk to them. They could probably even take you through like they did me and my little daughter. So, and I advise people that don't know much about the Lions Club, check it out. It's a pretty good little organization, so they do a lot for the community.
Actually, can you answer a couple of questions?
Absolutely.
This was proposed years ago when I was on board before. There's also proposal to put in a park down here, a walking trail here behind the store. The township was owner of that property then. We're not gonna be able to have any liability issues or anything, correct?
No, so right now we are trying to get grants through the state because as you saw, Governor Holcomb has like $72 million or $84 million. It's a large sum that he's projecting out for people to get for trails and different types of hiking things for outdoorsy programs. So we're getting it through the county. The county will adopt us basically, and there shouldn't be any liability issues that way. Just like Soldiers Memorial Park, like if you walk and you fall and you get hurt, like that's kind of on you. It's a walk as you go thing, problem like that.
At the last time this was proposed years ago, the sheriff had concerns about it. Have you spoke with the sheriff's department about this?
Yes, so we talked to John Boyd because he was the sheriff when Tom did his last proposal for it, and he had no concerns about it. We actually had a meeting at the library that I live streamed on Facebook, and I also shared it to our change.org website, so you can see it there if you have questions. And John Boyd didn't have any issues with it. Andy Heineck was on board, even though he didn't end up winning sheriff. He was still on board. Can't remember who I hadn't talked to him. I personally didn't talk to him, so I don't know his opinions. Tom might have, but for me personally, I can't speak on that. But everyone that was in police work said that they don't see any issues with it, that crime usually happens other places where people can drive to get away. It doesn't usually happen on walking paths, etc.
Has anything been addressed with the EMS in case there's a problem down there in the middle of it? Someone collapses, someone gets hurt, someone gets injured?
No, that is a good point, and I will bring that up at our next meeting.
Okay. Well, thank you. You guys have any more questions, maybe?
No.
Got any phone, Nancy? You got a question?
She's on Facebook, if you guys got any questions.
Or I'm just Ashley Kozowski at Gmail.
Yep. Thank you.
The list of expenses here we give to us, I've just got a couple questions on these. Lake insurance is listed twice.
That's because we have multiple insurance bills, let me tell you.
So what are, because $5,238 and and the other one's 5790.
Well, we have accident and liability, we have, you know what, I've had so many, I couldn't even tell you what they all are.
Well, some of them gotta be for buildings and some of them gotta be for equipment, trucks and that.
Yes,
That would be, that would be something that the chairperson finances
You got your first
would
job.
work with her and ask codes and information, because she's not gonna be able to bring every single bill for every month.
Okay. Well, I was just curious why it was
Yeah.
twice. I know we paid for 6 months, correct?
there's probably,
Is that 6 months coverage on each one?
I believe so, yes.
Okay, cause I spoke with John Jones the last council commissioners meeting also. And you've been on contact with her about the accident?
Yes,
Okay. John Schaefer for the, is that for the, financial statement for the year you're in?
yes,
Okay.
from last year.
But he's no longer available to do anything for us, okay?
Retired.
So he's done completely, we're done with him, okay?
Yes.
We buy a Dollar General at Walmart.
I bought some folders so I could put all this stuff in
Oh, okay.
folders. And Walmart is ink. Ink is very expensive, and as you can see, I use a lot.
Oh, yeah. We got a dual NIPSCO bills, one for this building and one for the fire department,
No, we don't pay this bill.
okay?
I pay them as I get them. They might,
One's a siren and one is the.
no, that's our EMC. And I'd like everyone to know, the siren at the Four Corners is now working. The siren in Mill Creek is working, and they've ordered the part for the 700 east.
There's an issue, there's 52 of them across the whole county, and they're well aware there's problems with a majority of them.
I call every Monday, she expects my call. Fran is her name.
Okay, but the NIPSCO bills, is that because we got one late?
Yes,
Okay, so
it was mailed from the other trustee.
so one would be for like February and one would be for March? Or January,
we
February?
probably, I don't know that we have March's yet.
Okay,
This is February's bill, so the
okay.
first one I didn't get until
So,
February.
yeah, we had problem getting out this information.
Right.
Clarifications on a couple of things, I can't read them here.
Which one?
On the far right corner where you got yeses and nos,
Yeah.
what is that column for?
Cleared. These have all been
Oh,
cleared.
cleared as far as the check's been canceled?
Yes.
Okay,
Correctly.
okay.
That's what I'm coming to say.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what it is.
And then,
Yes. Yeah,
what
so
is,
in the program, when we bank,
clear it.
when we do the
Right.
balance each
Yep.
time, those checks will clear out.
Clear.
So
So that's how
if
you
it says
balance it.
no, if it says no by it, those checks have not
not
cleared
cleared
yet.
yet, so you use that for balance, okay,
Yes.
I can't read that. What's the next one over to the left?
What do you mean?
Next column over?
Those are the codes that we use where we put the,
Okay.
take mine.
Those are those, when on there, were the different funds, so the firefighting fund, there's
Okay,
different funds, so
and the
3
funds within each one?
Yeah.
Okay, so township fund would be 3D, where that fund come out of? Right, dollar
So-
amount come out of?
Yes.
Okay,
Mhm.
okay,
Yeah, so-
that's why,
so
I
there-
couldn't read them.
There's so many different funds in each one.
Oh, yeah, well, I call them accounts, and this
Right.
is like I say it that
Yep.
way.
That's what I was showing you when I showed you Tom's web,
Yeah,
how it broke
yeah,
down. Yeah.
okay, that's all I had, I just was wondering why we paid municipal bills and that. And then KPL, Valley RMC, that's for siren?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I got any more questions?
What's the 1785 and 1786, now what's those
So wait a minute, let me find it. 1785.
1516?
That's, okay, believe it or not, I do get paid to do this job, a whole $511.87.
Okay.
That's minus, that's got the taxes taken out already. I take the taxes out.
583.33 was the gross,
Yes,
and then 511 was the net, okay?
Yes.
Now, are you gonna pay those taxes quarterly or annually?
I have no clue.
Because, I don't know why people are laughing, she's a brand new trustee and she's learning things as she goes. I mean, this is sad, but because she's not making a large
So
amount of
she
money,
can do manually.
she'll be able to do it yearly.
Okay, that's just a question I had, because like I said, that we're, gonna be held accountable for all that. So it's like,
Yeah, and
we
she
get
is
ours.
taking
at the end.
taxes out.
Yeah,
And
well,
just
I
like-
saw that, I know
Just
that.
like with the firefighters, the taxes will be
Yep,
taken
yep,
out,
yep.
so that they weren't before, so
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
So, like I said, I'm just curious about that, like I said, we don't gotta pay that. Uncle Sam.
Yep, we're getting all that set up.
So,
And
okay.
after taxes are taken out, I make about $6,100 and some odd dollars a year. And trust me, I work at least 8 hours a day doing this. Every day, not just 5 days a week, it's every day. So.
And then what's the
That's for office rent.
office rent? Do we pay office rent at the office at the fire department?
To me, I have a home office that I use,
Oh, okay, so if people wanna come,
not to my house. I have an office at
Where she works.
the fire station that I meet people at.
So the smaller townships are not recommended by the state to have people come into their
Oh, yeah.
home.
I don't
Okay.
blame
They
you
don't
for
recommend that.
Yeah, I don't
So
blame
a
you.
lot of them will go to a community building or a fire station or the library or something like that.
oh, okay.
But I work mostly from
From
home.
home. I do
But
have
all
one,
the smaller townships
yeah, that's.
pay themselves rent for their home.
I got one of the here.
And
we have-
basically, they would rent.
VFIS
Yeah.
Phone.
Right,
Some of the fire department.
okay.
It's an insurance policy for the fire department for retirement, I believe,
Okay.
VFIS.
Low
Yeah,
side.
I remember that we
Is that
set
what
that
it
up.
is, low sapphires?
Yeah, they're not getting that much out of it either,
No,
so, yeah, I remember we did that one, so, okay.
it's like $10 a year.
I have no problem with anything else on that.
Thank you.
That takes care of that, and now we're gonna open up public comment. If anybody wants to speak, please give your name, and keep it civil, please. Anyone wanna speak? Yes, ma'am.
I guess I just, Cheryl Sykes, 212 Lakeside Drive. I would like to know, since the, fire truck accident is a major deal to our community, who the 3 people that were involved in that accident were. Social media has a lot of hearsay. You don't believe that, that's why we come to the meetings to ask that, but I would like to know who was involved.
Jesse Cook was the driver. Who else was in there?
And who exactly is our captain now? Our fire.
Our fire chief,
Sorry.
it's Kyle Rensberger is the fire chief. The people that were in the, truck, it was Jesse Cook, I believe, see, the fire department part, I pay the bills, but the fire department has their own thing, they do their own thing. I
Okay,
don't,
but that has nothing to do,
but I think-
Nancy, with
I
who
know.
was in that truck.
I'm thinking Jesse Cook,
Eric Gable?
I believe he is the assistant chief, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know for sure. Eric Gakel, he is a trainee. And Tara Saibo, the girl that was here last week, that was back here, or the first week, she is fire 1 and 2. And they were out there, he was showing them where the dry hydrant was.
Okay, just wanted to have names of who
Yeah.
exactly were involved in that.
If you like, when I get the, police report, I can email you a copy. I'll give you my card tonight. Anybody else wants to know more information? I'll give you my card at the end here, on my email, send me one. I can email you that. I can also email you. I spent time today on the phone with Township Association and the Board of Public Access Council with some questions that the public's been concerned about asking us. And so Debbie Driscoll from the Township Association sent me a lot of questions. I want to know why we can't do it, why the board's not doing more than what we're doing. I can email you that, and then if you can read it, and it'll explain a lot of things.
Yeah, I'm not saying that the board isn't doing, I'm just asking for, as a resident, as a funder, you know, of the fact, information that should be known to us.
Yeah, that's fine, that's fine.
Because like I said, social media has different names flying out there, and I just wanted to know exactly what it's all.
Any more? Yes, sir, they're in the back. Jess, okay.
Jessica Project, 704 Glenwood Drive. The reason there are no firefighters here today is because I was told by one that Nancy, specifically asked them not to show up because out of sight, out of mind. And secondly, Nancy, you were a bus driver.
Absolutely.
You know, in high winds, how buses run.
I do.
Okay, we've had 30+ mile-an-hour winds almost 2-3 weeks ago. We drove in them empty bus and full, no problems. Explain that with the water truck.
you know, I can't explain it. It was a gust. You know yourself, driving that school bus, and I felt it. I was in Mishawaka that day. I felt it coming down Highway 2 in my pickup truck. So it happened. He might have had, it said 22 mile an hour, it could have been a 28 mile an hour, who knows?
Drove
You
on the
know.
highway, I drove my bus on the highway, going
Well,
55
congratulations,
miles an hour,
that was very good of you to hold it on the road like that.
No children, I had no issues.
I drove a bus for 37 years. I have been blown off the road.
Wayne, do you have something to say?
Yeah, Glenn Brownlee.
She's a bus driver, by the way.
Last meeting, I was unable to be here because of, prior commitment, family commitment.
Oh,
I just have a few questions. From the first meeting, when it was said that, they were gonna work with the firemen that were here, the 4 that were on there. You're gonna be working with them, and by the next meeting, they were gone.
Correct.
How is that working with them, telling the township you're gonna work with them, and terminating?
We did not remove them. That was done behind our backs.
Well, I know, but what I'm saying is, how is that giving faith into Nancy on, how is that projecting a faith from to the community that, hey, we're gonna work with these people, next meeting, oh, they're gone. We lied to you.
I 100% agree with you.
How is that, and then you wanna bring other firemen in to take their place of qualified people that were already here?
Okay, can I,
Yeah, that's one of the.
I don't have to explain anything, but I will. I did not fire Amber and Bill. Amber and Walker. I read the letter last week stating that they could stay. I wanted their stuff so that I could do inventory, which I had been asking for from the beginning of the year. Their gear would have been promptly returned to them once inventory was complete, that they were welcome to stay. Bill was replaced. And I know you guys think it's a personal thing with me and Bill, it wasn't. I'm not gonna get into it, there was way too much stuff that I had heard, and I didn't feel comfortable working with Bill. So, and it's my right as the trustee that I can replace the fire chief. Actually, I can replace anyone I want, but I only chose to replace the fire chief. And you had another question, working with them? I did try to work with them, as you know, they were there until February.
Couple weeks of working with them.
February 22nd is when it all happened, and I did try to work with them. After the first meeting of January 3rd, I did try to work with them. I mean,
A few weeks does not, when you're taking over this spot, a few weeks doesn't make things perfect.
I would
It
say
cannot
that
be
was
a
what,
few
about
weeks.
6 weeks, and no, I'm sorry that everyone feels this way, but it was my choice. I'm gonna stand by it. And no, ma'am, I did not recommend, I don't know where you heard it, that my people didn't come, my firefighters did not come down here. I have no control over what they do. I mean, if they wanna come down here, they're more than welcome to come down here. I don't tell them who they can call, where they go. It's their choice. If they don't wanna be here, that's fire department. This is township meeting, not fire department meeting, yes? Would you state your name, please? This is your meeting.
Yeah, I know.
Get up and do it.
I'm sitting. You're not speaking for him. Yes, sir.
I'm just saying, I'm here for the community though.